Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of The Grandstand here on the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I am, as always, your host, AR, the Ohio Patriot. And for today's episode, we're going to talk about Blackballing 2023 teachers, cops, and nurses slash medical industry people, and why we should have immediate terminations for some professions in this country. So basically, this comes off of me watching the video from a Black conservative perspective earlier today. And it was essentially you had a bunch of nurses in Atlanta who were bitching and moaning about their essential gripes with random pregnant women that were going into the ICU and the NICU and everything else like that's what it was. And going to have kids and stuff and like the various like things that they didn't like about these patients is what it was. And I'm just like, dude, how the fuck do you still have a job after that? And thankfully, a lot of these bitches got fired, is what it was. And honestly, this is some of the shit that I've seen personally in the last, I would say, 2 to 3 years, honestly. It's gotten real big since then, since 2020 lockdowns and stuff, dude. Where you just have these massively entitled fucking cunts working in the medical industry, working in policing, working in teaching, etc., and not being fired on the spot for it, dude. Whether it be these creepy fucks creeping on our children in the teaching profession, whether it be a bunch of fucking piece of shit cops in the law enforcement industry who are doing all kinds of criminal shit and not being fired on the spot for it because of qualified immunity and other crap like that should go away immediately. Or whether it be nurses, doctors, medical professionals, etc., or so-called medical professionals is what it is, literally talking shit about patients or, fucking just doing all kinds of fucking unscrupulous shit against patients and stuff like that is what it is, man. And I'll tell you what, bro, it is super fucked up. It is super, super fucked up. And honestly, like, I know I'm not the only one who's sick and tired of it, dude. I've talked to many, many people who are sick and fucking tired of it because these people act like they're fucking gods, dude. Especially in the medical industry, like especially nursing and doctors and stuff, nurses and doctors and stuff like that, dude. They act like they're literally like fucking gods when they're just men and women. And then they want to sit there and fuck with your livelihood or fuck with you or fuck with your family or whatever the case be. And what's really fucked up is the particular video. There was a bunch of people responding to that video, the one with the Atlanta nurses and stuff like that talking shit. And there was at least one woman in it who was specifically saying her son who had died, they had a bunch of questions and these chicks were basically blowing it off, and at least two of them were part of the ones who were fired there at that Atlanta hospital for talking shit about pregnant women and stuff like that coming into the to have their babies and stuff like that. And so my question is, it's like, okay, did they kill your son in 2020 by blowing his fucking lungs out with ventilators and stuff? Because I wouldn't be surprised by it, honestly, dude, at all. And if that be the case, she needs to sue the shit out of these fucking hoes for malpractice, dude, 100%. And it's a bunch of shit, dude. And then, of course, you got fucking black supremacist pieces of shit like Mark Lamont Hill coming out of the fucking woodwork and trying to make it about a race-based thing, even though there was at least one white chick involved in all that stuff that was talking shit on the TikTok video. And she was also fired for this whole thing, dude. And no, it's not about race, dude. It's about literally fucking having a goddamn ounce of respect for your fucking patients is what it is, dude. It's about actually not talking shit about your fucking patients on stupid ass fucking TikTok videos, other stupid ass social media sites like that, dude. Which I'm gonna say it like it is, dude. If you're dumb enough to use TikTok in 2022 and it's a known Chinese spying site, your ass needs to be fired immediately for a national security threat. And it's as simple as that, honestly, dude. And I would say truthfully, when it comes to the profession of teaching, when it comes to the profession of policing, when it comes to the profession of nursing or being a doctor, anything like that, dude, any kind of professional kind of thing like that, there should be a thing in everybody's contract that says you cannot use social media in any way, shape, or form to talk shit, to go out and fucking do all kinds of stupid shit is what it is, dude. Or you will risk immediate termination. And I guarantee you a lot of this crap would stop then, dude. You would have a lot of these motherfuckers shut their goddamn mouths real fucking quick, or they would be losing their jobs immediately. And that's what I'm talking about when I say blackballing, dude. Because honestly, from what I've seen from the fucking, so-called teaching industry at this point, where it's a bunch of fucking communist pieces of shit out there who are creeping on fucking kids and doing all kinds of other shady ass shit, dude. No, these people have no fucking business teaching our children. They have no business in the teaching industry to begin with because they're nothing more than indoctrinating pedophiles is what it is, dude. Or they're creepy fuckers who are indoctrinating for other people is what it is. And yeah, they need to be blackballed from the fucking entire teaching profession in general, dude. And it's the same way across the board with others at that point, dude. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually happy about this whole thing, dude. I'm happy these women got fired there in Atlanta because they should be fucking fired, dude. They should have been fired a long fucking time ago. Because I guarantee this is not the first time they've been talking shit about patients and everything else like that, dude. And it's like, when you literally have chicks come out of the woodwork and be like, I was going to have my kid at this place. And then I realized, like, there's some negative ass energy here. And she decided not to. And then it turns out, like, 2 or 3 of the chicks that were involved in the fucking thing were the ones that were going to help deliver her kid. It's like, good that you knew that beforehand. You got the fuck out of there is what it was, dude. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a bunch of fucking trash, dude. Like, I guarantee you, man. And this is my personal opinion right now, dude. And I'm gonna say it like it is right now. I don't care how this fucking sounds to anybody out there, dude. I refuse to go talk with. I refuse to go see any doctor in this country that got ahead because of their minority status. And I'm gonna leave it like that. And that's the truth at the end of the day, dude. Because there's a lot of doctors out there, black, brown, whatever, dude, that have only become doctors in this country because of their fucking skin color. They did not have the qualifications to actually pass the fucking tests. And I can tell you that firsthand because the bitch that fucking caused me to have every medical issue that I have had for almost 20 fucking years now was an Indian foreign national. She had no fucking business being in any profession in this country, especially not in doctoring, dude. And because of her, I have immediately gone on a whole thing and looked at other people and been like, do I really want this person to be my doctor? And in most cases, the answer is no, dude. Because they're just shit is what it is, dude. Most of these people that get the ability to have doctorates in this, to actually have like medical professional doctorates in this country and stuff like that, dude, are able to get ahead because of the fact that they are minorities. Especially, I think it's black females and black males as well are the top of the list to be able to basically get ahead in like random testing and stuff like that. That don't even know what the fuck they're doing is what it is, dude. And that was actually from who's that one chick? God, I'm trying to remember what that one girl's name is now. The one that played in The Office that was the minority chick. It was her brother. Mindy Kaling. That's who it is. Because I hate that bitch, by the way. She's a fucking annoying cunt. But yeah, Mindy Kaling, her brother, actually faked being a black male because he knew he could get ahead in medicine faster and have to go through less qualifications and stuff like that if he faked being black than if he was actually an Indian guy. And they let him through. He was right about that. And it's fucked up, dude. And that's what I'm saying. Like, there is no chance in hell that I'm going to go out there and fucking have my life in the hands of these fucking nuts, dude, is what it is. Fuck that shit. Now, granted, there are obviously some industries where you almost have to, just grin and bear it, unfortunately, in the medical profession and stuff like that, especially specialties and stuff like that, because unfortunately, there's a lot of people that are, Indian or Asian or whatever the case be, which I have no problem with any of those people, honestly, dude. I have no problem with those dudes, those, actual professionals and stuff like that, especially in gastroenterology and stuff like that, because they usually know what the fuck they're doing, man. Their entire job is to basically fuck with people's assholes. So I'm pretty sure they know what the fuck they're doing, man. But from my personal experience with some of these people, yeah, they know what the fuck they're doing. That's what it is, dude. So there is that. But no, seriously though, like if I'm going to like an MD or something like that or something along those lines, dude, like I'm gonna be like if I hear the last name and it sounds like fucking foreign as shit, I'm gonna be like, is this person a foreigner or are they an American by birth kind of thing? And then if they are, turns out they are foreigners and stuff like that, I'm kind of like, I mean, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt mostly, honestly, dude. But like, yeah, if you're going to be my primary care physician or you're going to be like some, specialist or whatever the case be, like, I want to make 100% sure that you know what the fuck you're doing as a doctor is what it is, dude. And if you don't, then guess what? I'm going to go find somebody more qualified is what it is. And it's as simple as that, dude. And that's really how it needs to be, honestly, in this country. It should be the best person for the fucking job, especially when you're talking about things where in a lot of in particular parts of that industry, you could have serious medical complications, dude. And it's like, why would I want to put my hands on somebody who's less qualified because they got ahead on some bullshit fucking statistics is what it is, dude, because of their race. That's just dumb. That's dumb as fuck, honestly, dude. That's a good way to get killed, honestly. That's a good way to have your family be able to sue for medical malpractice after you're dead in a wrongful death lawsuit. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't need that shit in my life, dude. For real. It's fucking stupid. But yeah, and then you got these asshole fucking people in the teaching profession that are just nothing more than communist indoctrinators at this point, and want to sit there and shit talk Americans and shit talk our way of life and everything else for that matter, and then want to fucking crap on everything that's great about this country, and think they're not going to get fucking backlash very soon. And I think they very much are at this point, dude. And thank God for that. That's the only, like, honestly, of all the bad shit that came out of 2020. The only good thing that came out of 2020 was so many of these fuckers being outed once and for all, dude. And it is one of the best things to happen to this nation, honestly, dude. Because it allowed for a bunch of communist pieces of shit to be whittled out at this point, dude, honestly. And it's now allowed for General Assemblies like here in Ohio for us to actually push forward legislation that once and for all gets rid of these cocksuckers. And I'm not going to lie, I'm happy about that, dude, because it allows for us to actually do what needs to be done to protect ourselves, protect our kids, protect our families from these sick motherfuckers is what it is, dude. And I personally am just over it, man. I'm over all this shit at this point, dude. There is zero reason for people to be in a profession where you have people's lives in your hands, or you have the ability to have, children's fucking future mental health and stuff like that in your hands, and you're doing everything possible to fuck it up, dude. Or in that same vein of things, being an officer in this country, being a law enforcement officer in this country, if you're going to actively break your oath to office, you don't need to have one, dude, is what it is. If you're going to be some stupid fucking cunt, fucking sheriff's deputy or random cop or whatever it is on fucking dumbass social media sites, TikTok, Facebook Live, whatever the case be, bitching and moaning about like, oh, if I see you in the fucking road, I'm going to pull you over if you're in front of me and all this other shit. There was one of those earlier this year, actually. It was a few months ago. It was some bitch cop who was bitching about like, oh, if I see you in front of me and you're not moving the fuck over, you better move the fuck over. I'm going to pull you over for fucking wasting my time and shit like that. And it's like, bitch, how the fuck are you still in law enforcement after that, man? And I'll tell you why. It's the exact same reason with the medical industry. It's the exact same reason with the teaching industry. You have fucking unions that don't need to exist in this country, dude, is what it is, especially in the teaching industry for that matter. And that's the only reason why these commie cocksuckers keep being kept around, dude, because these fucking piece of shit teachers unions are also led by goddamn communists that are usually in their early to mid 20s. And because of that bullshit, you have them not being able to be fucking fired on the spot is what it is, dude. And that's exactly why we need automatic termination in this fucking country. That's exactly why we need blackballing from industries in this country, dude. And it's why these people should have a fucking asterisk next to their damn names after they're fired, after they're terminated, that legitimately has a little thing next to it, and there's like a big fucking page file in their folder that specifically says this person was fired for this reason, etc., 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 and have it be like a whole line of thing if that be the case. Be like, oh, well, they were creeping on kids, or they were doing some other shady shit, or whatever the case be, dude. Like, any of that stuff should be immediate grounds for termination in this country. And it's way past time for that to be cut, for chickens coming home to roost at this point, dude. To where we have actual fucking shit being done, needs to be done in this country to deal with this fucking garbage once and for all is what it is, man. Because there are a lot of sick fuckers in this nation, dude, that are in the teaching industry. And then what's even worse is you got fucking literal trash sites like Reddit and stuff like that that are all bitching and moaning leftists, being all like, oh, but people shouldn't be able to homeschool their kids because they don't even have a degree or they don't even have a high school diploma. Who the fuck cares, bitch? I would much rather, honestly, have a girl or a guy, whatever the case be, that maybe just graduated high school, maybe didn't even graduate high school, maybe got a GED or something like that, dude, to homeschool their own fucking children how they want them to be schooled, how they want them to actually be taught. Maybe don't teach them a regular curriculum. Maybe teach them fucking survival skills and stuff like that that are actually going to make them be able to survive out in the real world and stuff like that when it's all said and done, dude. Instead of some dumb fucking cunt in the fucking teaching industry bitching and moaning about and this is why little Johnny at fucking 6 years old needs to know how to use a fucking butt plug and a dildo and shit like that. It's like, what the fuck? Like, that's what they're teaching some of these fucking kids now, dude. That's the indoctrination garbage going on in our fucking school systems now that we found out since 2020, dude. And like I said, as much as these kids have gotten fucked up because of the lockdowns and stuff like that mentally, dude, the best thing to come out of all this was these fucking sick fuckers finally being outed in our society once and for fucking all. And you have all these people, all these parents being able to finally yank their kids out of these fucking schools, dude. Because let's face it, man. When you're talking about the specifically U.S. education system in this country, what you're talking about, it's not only the U.S., by the way, it's around the world for that matter, whether it be U.K. or whether it be, France or Britain or whatever the case be, dude. Any of these countries like that, any of these first world, second world nations and stuff like that, where you actually have, like elementary school to high school and stuff like that. The entire point of them was to make it a factory job, basically. It was for parents who were working someplace, 8-hour shifts and stuff like that. And it was a way to teach these kids how to live their life in a factory setting to where they could go leave the school system at whatever grade. Usually it was I think back in the day in the early 1900s and stuff like that, it was usually 6th to 8th grade, somewhere in there. And then obviously it's now high school and stuff like that, where, 60s, 70s, 80s and stuff, they could walk out of school with a high school diploma and walk directly into a factory and be part of a line. That is not the way we should be teaching kids in this country, dude, at all. We should be individually teaching them the best way possible for them to succeed is what it is. And the worst problem is when you have them, 20, 30, 40, 50 deep in some cases in different schools and stuff like that, depending on how, understaffed the school is or how just shitty the fucking school is what it is, dude. These kids are not getting the attention they need in most cases. They are being left behind. They are being fucked over. And it's thanks to pieces of shit like George W. Bush, honestly, dude. With the whole No Child Left Behind crap is what it was. And all you're doing now is you're having garbage ass stuff like Common Core, aka Common Crap, that was architected by Jeb Bush, his brother, as curriculum in this country. And all Common Core does is teach the dumbest fucking kid in the room how to do mathematics in the stupidest way possible. And you're actively dumbing down the other 20, 30, 40, 50 kids in the room, whatever it is, dude, at that point, however big that classroom is. And that's a huge fucking problem, dude. It's exactly why that kind of so-called mathematics should be outlawed in this country, period, dude. It should literally be thrown, every single one of those Common Core books should be thrown through an industrial shredder, and that shredder should be directly into a fucking, should be flying direct, or the actual outshot of the shredded books should be going directly into a burn pile, because that's what needs to be happening to that crap, dude. It needs to be shredded into pieces and then burned. It is not education. It is 100% indoctrination, and it's fucking crap, dude, entirely. And it's stuff that I've been against for fucking years now, dude. It's stuff that I've been against pretty much since I found out about it years ago. And I thank God that I came up in a year in this country, that I came up actually in the early 2000s of this nation, to where I didn't have to be indoctrinated with that garbage, dude, to where we actually had real mathematics still. Because I'll tell you what, if I had to go with the Common Core curriculum, fuck that, dude. I would have failed out of school 100%, because I wouldn't have put up with it, man. And I would have had a much better home curriculum at that point. As do most kids in this country, dude. And that's the problem right now. You have so many great kids in this country being held back by just stupid bullshit, dude. By garbage ass indoctrination is what it is. They don't really want to teach these kids anymore, dude. They want to make them activists. That's what it is at the end of the day. It's garbage ass activism. oh, you're so good at going out there and beating the shit out of random people in the streets, and we'd love to have you be part of Antifa in the future, says the indoctrinating quote unquote educator. And that's what it really is, dude, at the end of the day. Hell, look at Yvette Falarka, for God's sakes, dude. This bitch was a middle school teacher, and she literally led one of the biggest terrorist organizations in this country, dude. By any means necessary, aka BAM. And she was finally fired years ago for that, dude. Thank God. They should have fired her ass a long time before that, even, dude. The fact that she was allowed to continue indoctrinating these fucking kids with her communist bullshit for at least a couple of years is fucking crap, dude, entirely. And that's the exact problem with this nation right now, dude. It's fucking garbage ass indoctrinators like that being the majority of our school system right now, dude. And it's their fucking buddies that are in the nursing industry or the policing industry or whatever the case be, dude. It's these fucking trash ass human beings that don't actually give a fuck about people that are the ones in these professions, dude. Or they go through some kind of bullshit burnout or whatever the case be, and they're like, well, I should be able to do this thing because blah, 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 blah. And it's like, that's a fucking stupid reason. That's a really fucking stupid reason to be doing that kind of stuff, dude. It's like, nah, you should probably be out of this industry is what it is, lady. And the one thing I've realized lately, especially in the last few years now, dude, with everything going on with the dancing nurses on TikTok during 2020 and all this other crap like that, dude, these are the same fucking stupid cunts who were out there in the streets bitching and moaning and being like, this is why everybody should mask up during the rioting, or this is why the rioters are right, or da-da-da-da-da. It's like, shut the fuck up, cunt. Shut your fucking mouth, seriously. Like, this is the problem with America, dude, is that, and honestly, like, after Honda's show last night, I think Van Drake said it correctly. There's no more men anymore in this country, dude, because we have been so fucking pussified that we can't actually just take a fucking stand at this point, man. And I think that's a big problem with this country right now, dude. There's no more fucking dealing with this crap anymore, dude. And that's why I think, honestly, what we're seeing coming about in this nation very soon, you're definitely 100% going to see strong men again, dude. You're going to see strong men, and you're going to see the precipice of something great coming very soon. And when I say very soon, I mean legitimately like next year or two. I think you're going to see strong men finally take the helm again. I think you're going to see lions finally wake up again. Kill the fucking foxes for once. And take back this country. And when it happens, it's going to be one of the greatest moments in this nation's history. Because it's finally going to be real men stepping the fuck up again and doing what needs to be done for our survival. Not a bunch of fucking bitch-ass coward motherfuckers. Fucking dirty-ass fucking cunts out there, dude. Bunch of old fucks. Of all genders. Male and female. Sitting there bitching and moaning and babbling on about like, and this is why we need to protect the elderly from the fucking young and stuff. Like, nah, dude, fuck you. You had your time on Earth. It's time to protect the young. And the way to protect the young is not to have a bunch of old motherfuckers kill the fucking young, dude. And that's exactly what's happened in 2020 and beyond. You had a bunch of elderly people, a bunch of elderly ass congressmen and senators, for the most part, actually, so pussified, so fucking scared of their own mortality that they were willing to risk the lives of children for their own commie bullshit, dude, is what it is. And I think people are starting to wake up to that fact, dude. And I think people are rightfully getting a lot of fucking pissed off energy in their systems nowadays, dude. And as they should have it. They should have been pissed for a long, long time before this, dude. When you're used, when you're abused, when you're, fucked over, by the government, by the system, by everything else like that, dude, you start to look at things differently. When you're federally swatted for some bullshit like I was, you start to get real pissed. You start to get real pissed at government agents, dude. And you have a justifiable gripe against these people after that, man. And I mean just that, a fucking gripe. And yeah, I'm pissed and I'll stay pissed, dude. And that's the thing people don't realize, dude. I hold grudges. My autism, it allows me to hold grudges for a long ass time, dude. And I mean a long ass time. Hell, there was things that happened when I was like 10 years old or younger, dude, that I'm still pissed about at the age of almost 38. So that should tell you something, man. Don't fucking cross me, because you might not be in a good place after that, dude. You might have a grudge against you the rest of your damn life, honestly, is what it is. So, yeah, when you weaponize autism, dude, sometimes it can lead to very angry results, is the best way to describe it, actually. And when you have people who are trying to fuck with your livelihood and your actual sanity and everything else like that, for that matter, who want to sit there and, fuck off and act like everything's well and good and everything else like that when it's not. It's not okay, man. It's not okay at all. And when you have a bunch of sick sons of bitches putting you under lockdowns for fucking, a year and a half of your life, and everybody else for a year and a half of their lives, and then you wonder why people go fucking nuts and start rioting in the streets or start committing all kinds of violence. Which, mind you, 2020 wasn't even the entirety of this country committing violence, dude. That was a bunch of leftists committing violence, dude. You haven't seen what happens when the right and the center come out of the woodwork, dude. Because let me tell you right now, this country would stop in about 10 minutes and it would not start up again if you see the right and the center actually take control, dude. And people are going to be like, oh shit, we done fucked up bad. And it's like, yes, you did. Yes, you did. And obviously, when I'm talking about stuff like that, I'm talking about what we saw in Canada a couple years ago with the, trucker stop and stuff like that is what it would be. Things along those lines. And I can tell you right now, dude, if the trucks stop, we're all fucked. And I think that's the only reason they haven't right now, dude, is because people are like, no, I don't want a bunch of people to die is what it is, dude, from needing like medicine or medication or whatever it is, dude. But yeah, if that stuff happens, man, just know that the truckers in this country, the good people of this nation, the ones that are actually the ones, fulfilling stuff and fulfillment centers and, various fucking food deliveries and the grocery stores and, fuel deliveries and the gas stations and everything else like that, man. If those people stop working, if those men, because most of that profession is men, if they decide to stop working one day, guess what? These doctors, these nurses, these fucking teachers, etc., dude, they ain't gonna be shit at that point. Because they're gonna be the ones freaking the fuck out, dude. I guarantee you, if you ask any medical professional in this country just how much stuff they had on tap at any given day in this nation, dude, it is not a lot. There is a lot of things that are definitely in demand that are not in supply in various hospitals and stuff like that, and supplies that really need them, dude. There's been actual talk of that, like if the trucks actually stop, like how quickly you would see supplies run out in hospitals and stuff, and it's legitimately like a day or two at most, because they just don't have the supplies they need. There's what it is, dude. It's like the same thing with everything else, dude. It's just in time delivery shit. Where it's like, okay, here's all your gauze and all your, ventilator bags and everything else like that, like a day, pretty much the day that they need them is what it is, dude. And if they had a surge or they had like a multi-day surge, whatever it was, of various people needing help, like, yeah, they're all fucked, dude. All those people are fucked. Like, good luck to you, man. Better hope you're, you know, have made right with God and stuff like that, because you're probably going to see him very soon, is what it would be, man. Legitimately. And I think that's the problem with so many people right now, dude. They don't understand that. They don't get it. And they think that this world is just like this rotating ball where you can sit there and just go to a fucking grocery store and get your meat or anything else you would need, prepackaged and all the other stuff like that, not realizing how much it takes to even get it to that, man. Like, seriously, how many people in this country don't know the first damn thing about hunting or about how to process a fucking animal, dude? It's a lot. It's a lot of people, dude. And if they knew the actual, you know, process that it takes to get, an animal broken down from like living cow or deer or whatever it is, dude, to, meat on your fucking table, they would their minds would explode. 100%, man. And it's sad. It's sad how many people don't know where their food supply comes from. They believe it's all just fucking magic and rainbows and sprinkles and everything else like that, dude. In many, many cases. And in reality, it's, good men and women doing the job. It's the unsung heroes at the processing plants cutting down, full carcasses and stuff like that into proper portions and everything else like that, dude. It's the people that, you know, are the everyday butchers in this country that actually know how to take down an animal and stuff like that, and how to actually, quarter it out and everything else like that, and go down further than that, even for that matter, dude. One of the best channels here on YouTube is actually the Bearded Butchers channel. And if you haven't watched them, you probably should, actually, especially if you don't know the first thing about, actually dealing with animals and stuff like that, dude. Because if you do, they're one of the better ones to actually look at and be like, okay, cool, this is how I take down, a deer into like quarters, and then obviously all the way down to like different parts and pieces and stuff like that for like steaks and shit like that, it would be. Or the same thing with a cow, or the same thing with, a pig, or whatever the case be. Because they're the guys that know how the fuck they do that stuff, dude, because they've been doing it for years, is what it is. And those would be the kind of men who would survive. They would be the kind of people who would actually be able to live off grid if things happened where you had an EMP pulse or something else for that matter take down our grid. Or worse, you had a bunch of scumbags going out there in society and trying to destroy our grid now, dude, because hell, and this is exactly, it goes back to why the media needs to be held accountable too, by the way, dude. When you have the dumbass mainstream media in the last like week and a half or so being like, oh, well, here's some transformer that somebody attacked in North Carolina. Now there's been like fucking 8 or 10 attacks in the last like week or so in Washington State and stuff like that now, which I guarantee if you looked into who was actually doing that shit, it's 100% Antifa doing that shit, dude. Like, of course these fucking retards are going to do that stuff, dude, because they were probably the ones behind the original ones, my guess, honestly, dude. Like, they probably had like one smart person in their fucking group figure out what the hell where the hell the actual substation was in some state or whatever it was there. And then since then, you've had a bunch of these motherfuckers do the same shit with other places, dude. That's the one thing our government never talks about, actually, and there's a reason why they never talk about that, is because they don't want people doing this stuff. There is attacks on our grid, physical ones, every single day in this country. There's also a bunch of cyber attacks on our grid every single day in this country. And the problem with that is when you have these people who are intent to destroy this nation, attempting to destroy this nation, and potentially getting away with these crimes, dude, like, yeah, some bad shit's about to happen, man. And I'll tell you what, like, knowing the fact that we're pretty much in winter right now, dude, and we're gonna go towards even a harsher winter very soon, it's not good, man. There's a reason why in every apocalyptic series, whether it be Jericho or Revolution or any of those ones like that, or 1 second after the book, or any of those things like that, Soft Apocalypse, etc., dude, There's a reason why in every single one of these, they always talk about the grid going down and they always talk about people dying from exposure and stuff, dude. It's because it's going to happen. It's 100% guaranteed to happen every single time. And people need to wake up to that fact, dude, and be ready for that. You know, whether it be buying a generator, whether it be figuring out other ways to make power and stuff, dude, so forth and so on, because at some point, you're going to need to have a way to, you know, heat your house or keep your family alive if something bad happens. And even in that case of things, man, some people don't even know how to properly work a generator and stuff like that, dude, and how it should be actually functioning. And you got dumbasses that'll bring them inside and then end up having a carbon monoxide poisoning because they're too stupid and not understanding you need ventilated areas for that kind of shit. So, yeah, needless to say, there's a lot of issues that a lot of people have done. And unfortunately, there are many stupid people in our society currently who will not survive, who will never survive what is coming because they're just dumb. And their idiocy will kill them. And sadly, it will kill others too that are in their immediate vicinity. So, my best suggestion to anybody out there is do not be one of those people in the immediate vicinity like that, dude. Do not be around dumb people if a collapse happens in this country. Get yourself as far away from those fucking retards that have no survival skills immediately. Because if you don't, they're going to be an anchor around your fucking neck and they're going to drag you right down with them. And unfortunately, sometimes people don't realize that the anchors around their necks are their own family members for that matter, dude. Now, granted, you should be trying to help your family now while the grid is up to be smarter and make better decisions. But yeah, if worse comes to worse, you might just have to cut them loose, man. You might just have to sneak off in the middle of the night kind of thing is what it would be. And just leave them to their own devices and shit like that, dude. And if they're meant to survive, they're meant to survive. If they're not, they're not. And unfortunately, you know, that might sound harsh. But hey, not everybody's meant to live, man. Not everybody's meant to survive. Especially not what's coming right now. And unfortunately, when you have very stupid people doing very stupid things that get themselves killed when they don't need to, it just is a bad deal for everybody, man. It really is. And unfortunately, the longer things go and the longer that we as a society have a set of survivalist skilled people that have no survival skills at all being able to survive because of government fuckery and, you know, just all kinds of stupid shit like that, dude, the worse off we're going to be as a country, dude. And that's the problem. When people have no self-reliance, when they have literally, oh, let's go ahead and suck the government's dick for fucking, you know, handouts like EBT and cash assistance and everything else like that instead of going out and getting a real job. Now, granted, in some cases you physically can't do these things because, you know, some people are legitimately crippled is what it is. But there's a lot of people who are just lazy ass fucking people, dude. I would rather just sit home and collect a check than actually doing real work in this country. And those are the kind of people that need to be cut off immediately. Period. End of story. Because those are the kind of individuals that do nothing but drag the rest of us down as a society. And they know who they are. I'm not going to mention anything besides that because there's no need to. But yeah, those are the individuals that know exactly who the fuck they are. And they're the same motherfuckers who were going out there during Obama's administration and trying to, you know, fill a bunch of carts up at a Walmart and stuff like that, dude. And knowing damn well they didn't have a damn dime on their fucking shit is what it was. But because they were allowed to go out and do a bunch of shady ass shit, you ended up having a whole bunch of product be tossed in the trash because of these fucking people, dude. And that's a problem right there. When you have individuals who don't really care about their fellow man and just want to fucking, get ahead on their own is what it is, dude, and just be like, oh, well, I'm just screwing over this corporation and stuff. No, dude, you're screwing over everybody at that point because you're an asshole who is literally letting fucking product go to waste. That's not going to end up in a dump someplace because your fucking lazy ass didn't want to get a real job and would rather fucking get handouts from the government. And then when those handouts didn't come no more, you proved exactly why you shouldn't be on them in the fucking first place. And that's the problem right now, dude, entirely with this country. And that's why I'll say shit like it is right now, dude, because I'm sick and tired of it. I'm sick and tired of all of it, man. I'm sick and tired of watching this country fall to a bunch of motherfucking assholes, to a bunch of motherfucking old people, to a bunch of motherfucking scumbags who don't give two shits about this nation and just want it to burn and fuck us over and stuff like that. When in reality, they're some of the worst people in this nation, dude, right now. And honestly, like this whole thing with the nurses and stuff like that, and them shit talking the patients and stuff like that, dude, or these fucking indoctrinating assholes that want to call themselves teachers, shit talking parents and being like, and this is what, like, there was one the other day, it was lives a TikTok or whatever, and it was some dumb fucking leftist cunt who was all like, oh, and this is why parents should just shut up and let us do our job. No, this is why your ass should be fired on the spot, Karen, and be told to fuck off forever is what it is. And that's the problem right now, dude, is that we're not immediately blackballing these motherfuckers from the education system, that we're not immediately blackballing these fucking people from the medical industry, et cetera, or even worse, that we're allowing this crap to go on in the medical profession and stuff like that, dude, because Big Pharma is fucking so goddamn up the ass of so many politicians in this country, dude. And that's another huge fucking problem right now, dude. And that's exactly why, honestly, Big Pharma lobbying and any other kind of lobbying for that matter should be banned in this nation, dude, period. And if it was, our country would be so much better off right now. And I mean that seriously. We would be one of the best nations ever if you just had corporate lobbying be banned across the fucking spectrum right now, dude. And until that happens, nothing's ever going to change in this country for the positive. It's always going to be a bunch of fuckery and cuckery and everything else like that, where it's a bunch of scumbag motherfuckers doing what they need to do to fuck the rest of us over, dude. Where you're going to have a bunch of asshole fucking politicians on both sides of the aisle literally taking kickbacks from big pharmaceutical companies to pass fucking bullshit legislation that murders a bunch of Americans and millions of people worldwide, for that matter, dude. That was one of the things we talked about last night on Honda's channel. Was somebody brought up the fact of how many people has Fauci killed right now with the jabs. And I said, are we talking about just America, or are we talking about worldwide? And somebody said worldwide. I said hundreds of millions, and I believe that to be the case right now, dude. That dude has murdered more people than Hitler and Stalin combined right now. I guarantee it, dude. And that should tell you something. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if Fauci's numbers were on the level of fucking Mao at this point, dude. And the fact that people are still cucking out for that motherfucking terrorist piece of shit and not calling for his fucking head for crimes against humanity at this point, dude, is everything wrong with this country right now. Anthony Fauci is one of the biggest scumbags on earth right now, dude, living currently. That should have been publicly, and I mean that seriously, he should have been publicly executed for crimes against humanity at this point, dude. He should have got a military tribunal at least a year ago, and it should have been the worst possible death penalty that he could have got at that point, dude, by a military carrying it out. And the fact that this still hasn't happened to this day is bullshit, dude. And I think it's going to come, honestly, dude. I think we're honestly right now very much on the precipice of the modern day Nuremberg trials. And I think you will see Fauci and other people like that get what's fucking coming to them very quickly, dude. And they're definitely going to get the crimes against humanity charges that they deserve pretty soon, dude. I think. And by pretty soon, I mean legitimately a couple of years probably. Because people are sick of it, dude. And we are rightfully so sick of it. When this fucker and other fuckers in this country, dude, including sitting governors, have helped kill millions of Americans. Enough is enough of it, dude. Seriously. When these big pharmaceutical companies have helped murder our fucking relatives with their bullshit jibbity jabs, fuck that, man. It's time for every motherfucker to be held to account, dude. Across the fucking aisle and across the fucking board. And if people are not going to hold them to account, then those individuals that are refusing to hold them to account need to be removed from office themselves at that point, dude. And potentially be looking at the exact same fucking charges. Because you are actively helping mass murderers get away with mass murder at this point. And I think we've all had enough of it, dude. I know I fucking have. I had enough of it a long, long ass time ago. And I'm personally just sick and tired of it. You know, I said the last episode, I was done, man. And I'm truthful about that. I'm fucking done with this shit, dude. I'm so sick of all of it, man. And I'm going to keep calling this shit out as long as I have to until something gets done. And I'm going to actively be working at a state level right now to do lobbying stuff here at a state level to hold some motherfuckers' feet to the fire and hold people accountable to state level now. So look for Ohio Patriot Education Network to be in contact with a lot of lawmakers in the state of Ohio in the coming year. And we will be legitimately having legislation introduced and hopefully passed to hold assholes accountable, dude. Because no one should be able to get off scot-free at this point. No one should be able to walk for this shit. When they have murdered our family members, when they have murdered our friends, when they have murdered our relatives, no, it's time for them to be in prison minimum the rest of their lives, dude. Because enough is enough of this bullshit, dude. 100 fucking %. It's all a bunch of garbage right now, dude. And then when you got these fucking scumbags sitting there being all like, oh, and this is why the patient is a piece of shit. Like, how about no, this is why you're a piece of shit in the medical industry. Because in most cases, that's the actual truth, dude. It ain't the fucking patients who are pieces of shit, it's the fucking idiots and fucking behind the desk or whatever the case be. You know? It's like, yeah, if somebody needs a glass of water, they need a fucking glass of water. Hell, dude. When I had my colon cancer surgery almost 7 years ago now, the doctor specifically stated, he put in my fucking chart, he's like, get this man some ice chips and some other stuff to make sure that he's like able to be good to go the next day. And yeah, they never fucking did, dude. Nobody gave a shit enough to actually do their job. And that's what I'm saying, man. It's just a bunch of shitty ass people. It's a bunch of shitty ass people in these industries, dude. Most have zero fucking skills when it comes to patient interaction. Most have zero fucking skills when it comes to actually being good at essentially being customer service is what it is in most cases, dude, because that's what you really are as a nurse in a lot of cases, dude. You're the first line of customer service for these people, dude. You're the ones that are going to have to deal with these individuals, these patients, and you're the ones that are going to have to be administering, various drugs and stuff to them and whatnot. And if you're not going to do that job, then why the fuck do you have that job? And it's the same thing with teachers and stuff like that, man. If you're not going to do your job as a professional in the teaching industry, why the fuck are you in that profession to begin with? And in many cases, it's because they're fucking scumbags, dude. It's because they want to be in that profession simply to fuck these kids over, simply to indoctrinate youth and fuck over children's minds. And it's the same thing with policing, dude. They don't give a shit about people's rights. They just want to beat the fuck out of people, is what it is, dude. It's why you have so many ex-military getting into policing. Because they want to sit there and deprive American citizens of our constitutional rights and be a bunch of jackbooted fucking thugs, is what it is, dude. And it's one thing that I've realized in the past, like, year or two, honestly. Well, actually, more than that. Probably more like about 4 or 5 years, actually. But, yeah, it's just a bunch of scumbaggery, dude, is what it is. It's a bunch of motherfucking scumbags who don't give two shits about America, who don't give two shits about people's rights, who actively want to fuck over American citizens constantly, and just want to sit there and basically screw us, is what it is, dude. And I personally have had it. I've had it for a long time, dude, with these fucking people. And I'm finally going to be truthful about it, dude. I'm finally going to open my mouth and tell the truth at this point about that kind of stuff, dude. Because there's no reason to remain silent any longer about it. If you piss me off, I'm going to call you out, dude. If you are actively doing something that is depriving other people of their constitutional rights, I'm going to call your fucking ass out on it. If you are actively fucking over American citizens because you want to be an asshole, I'm going to call you out on your bullshit. And it's literally as simple as that. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see y'all in the next one.